morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whoever you are. I'm so excited to have you live with me and Debbie. I'm going to bring this fabulous, absolutely amazing, fantastic, caring and loving and just radiating, victorious person. Her name is Debbie. I'm so excited to bring her in with us. And I promise, you're gonna learn a lot from Debbie. You're gonna grow to love her just like I do. And so stay with me for 10 seconds, and we're gonna bring Debbie back.
Hello. Hi.
We're live.
Hello, everyone.
Good morning to you. How are you, Debbie?
Oh my gosh, I'm really great. It's snowing in Ohio on March 9th. So that's a little bit like, what? I woke up this morning and it's all coming down, but
yes,
it'll be 70 by the weekend, I'm sure.
We hope so. I'm tired. My kid was sitting in the window this morning, turned around from the snow. She didn't want to look at it anymore.
Yeah, she's like giving us a hand. No.
Yes, no more. Look, we have Lynn with us.
Oh, hello, beautiful, fabulous Lynn Serrano.
Yes, and hello, beautiful Teodora and Debbie, she says. Aww. Actually, since Lynn is here with us, I have a little something for you that.
Hi, Teodora. I am super excited that Debbie is your guest today. She's an amazing person. I've had the privilege of interviewing her and the honor of her interviewing me, and now we're co-hosting a show. And what's amazing about Debbie is her energy, her love for people. She's just a caring person. She's so amazing. And so I am just honored to call her my co-host, a friend, in such a short amount of time. I love her, and I can't wait to watch this show today. Enjoy your time and be blessed by just Debbie's energy. Love you, ladies. Bye.
Oh, thank you, Lynn. We love you back. Gosh, who wouldn't want someone like her in your life? She's like a great
right. I can't. Oh my gosh, Lynn is amazing. Yes, she's so amazing.
She's so willing to help with anything. Thank you.
You and I. Do you want to tell the story how we met?
Yes, it's so fun. So, listen, you and I are in Grow Live together, and Ken Walls's Grow Live Academy, and we were all on this Zoom, and you were going through a rough way. You're going through a tough time, and it was all due to putting yourself out there to achieve something, right?
Yes.
And then when you put that time and energy into it and you didn't achieve it, it made you feel really sad. And I felt your sadness.
I felt like I failed.
Yeah, but we've learned failure. You don't fail if you're not trying. No, if you never fail, that means what? You've never tried anything, because we all fail. But still, you're like, oh, if one more person tells me that, but it's true. And in the moment of defeat, it feels really, really bad. But, when you go on and you try again and you achieve it, it makes it that much more victorious, right?
Yes.
Yes. So we met there, and I was new to the team, and I had to take my mute button off because I wanted, after you told, and you were so vulnerable, and you said, I failed and I didn't pass this test to go on to finish this and that. I was like, oh, and I just could feel the sadness from you. And I was like, I got to talk to this girl. Like, I have to talk to her. So I unmuted, and I'm like, they're probably like, who's this chick? But I wanted you to know, listen, I feel you, and I've had failure too. And it never feels good. I mean, never. Yeah. And I wanted you to know that you're going to go on and you're going to do this and you're going to achieve it. And you're amazing. And I appreciated your vulnerability. And I just loved it. Well, then when I was interviewed on the Lynn Serrano show, she was asking people to say something about me who know me. And when you popped on, I was like, oh my God. And you said so many nice things about me. And I was like, wow, we really did have a little bonding connection from the jump, because you were vulnerable. I felt that energy, and I was vulnerable back by unmuting my button to tell you what I thought about it. So now we've just become fast friends, and I'm excited that you're taking this path of podcasting and doing things live along with all the other things you're doing. And that's how we met. So it's really cool.
It was such an instant connection, because when you came, when you unbuttoned that call and you told me the things you said to me, they just went straight to my heart. And I
don't even remember what I said, because I was just like feeling it,
Yes, but this is you. But this is who you are, and this is the amazing Debbie that I want the world to get to know you, because your heart and what you're planning to do in life and what you did so far is so important for everybody to know, because it's just so powerful. It's victorious. It's victorious. Like you're a victorious person. Thank you. This is your show, man.
I love it. We're gonna have fun. What do you want to? Let's get into it. Ask me some questions.
I want to start by, I want to say that you live in Ohio, so we're not even in the same town, and we're not even in the same city. We're across the country from each other, and yet our friendship is just so powerful. But tell me about, you're raising your family. You're a single mom. I think that's a good start, because then we get the base of where you were and how you build up. That's very inspiring, and I want people to be inspired by your story. So you raised your family, and you're a stay-at-home mom.
And I used to say, oh, I'm just a stay-at-home mom, and I would discount that. And then as time went along, I thought, why am I saying I'm just a stay-at-home mom? Because I delved into that full go and completely was super focused on my children to instill integrity and love and genuineness and work ethic and all of these things that I just completely, we love you too, Lynn. And I was there for him for everything. And like I told you, I was a professional volunteer in the community, because I wanted to still get my social fix. And I wanted to help other people, not just my family. But I also didn't want to have something that I did constantly that I wouldn't be able to get away and be room mom, or, do things for the school or for my children when they needed me or when they were sick. So I did have that luxury of doing that. I mean, I'm not saying that we were killing it. I mean, we definitely didn't have two incomes. So it wasn't something that was, I didn't add monetary value to our family system, but I certainly have two bright, beautiful children who have spread their wings and gone on. And that now I look at that and I say, it really, if I really let it sink in, I'm like, good, and it wasn't just me. I had a husband helping me, but I thought, you know what, this is why I can be so proud of the job I did. And then as the children got older, I started trying to figure out, well, who am I without them being my identity? So then it went into a whole other thing of me figuring out what my next move was for the next chapter of my life. So that was very interesting. Let's just say that. And I'm still on this path. I'm still trying to figure things out. Lord knows, I'm not on here today to say, hey, I know it all, because that's why I love this. Like talking to you, talking to Lynn, all my best friends, we all have different perspectives to share. Maybe it's even on the same topic, but we don't know everything. And if you start thinking you got it all figured out, you're not going to learn from other people.
Yes.
So I love this. Like, I know I can become better than what I am. I have a lot of room for growth. So, I'm still figuring it out, but I'm definitely on a path of self-love, and I want to share what I've learned to help other people get on board with it.
Perfect. That's awesome. Yes. I think that's what we need. We need successful people to share their path to success, so that we can all get there and find the true happiness and success that we're striving and we want. We all
Right.
want success. We all want to be successful. Nobody wants to be miserable. But
Right.
so many people don't know how to get there.
Yeah.
So after your kids went to college, you started a business.
Yeah. So, and actually I had one, my oldest went off to college and I was like, okay, this feels weird. He's gone. I have my daughter at home and 4 more years she's leaving. So, and I'll tell you the short of it, because I know you know this story, but maybe our viewers on this show hasn't, heard me on
Yes.
the Ken Walsh show, but I had been thinking about starting an image consulting and styling business where I go in and I help women feel fabulous. And I had the name called Find Your Fabulous. All of this, I was dreaming all this up and didn't do anything, just sat on it. Like, I don't know. Went with girlfriends who I graduated high school with to go see one of our rock star friends who was killing it out in Santa Monica, working in LA, living in Santa Monica. Went to see her, spent the 4 nights there. On my way home, back to Ohio, I was on a plane with a perfect stranger sitting next to me. And I was quiet because I'm chatty. And sometimes I thought, I'm not going to talk to anybody. She brought the conversation to me. We talked about what we did. And I mentioned to her, well, I kind of have this little dream that I want to do it. And she's like, well, why don't you do it? And I pondered it for like a second. And I'm like, I'm scared, I guess. I'm afraid of failing. And when you're a type A personality, sometimes we get into a space where we think, well, I'm just not going to do it if it can't be perfect. That's bad news bears. We cannot do
You're talking about me again.
Yeah. See how that is so bad, because we are, not wanting to fail, keeps us from achieving the things that we want because we're afraid we're not going to do it good enough. I don't know where that comes from, Teodora, but that was me. And the words that she said to me that day on the plane resonated with me. And I've heard those words before about if you just try it and you fail, at least you tried it. Don't look back when you're in a rocking chair and you can't do things someday and say, what if I would have? But I've heard those words before, but that moment I needed that. And it was my boost to say, you know what, I already have the name picked out, whatever, went to the state of Ohio, got my name, started this business. And, I started slow. It was word of mouth. Then I was in the newspaper. Then I started going to colleges and it picked up, but it was a really nice eye-opening experience for me to say, I said I was going to do this and I'm doing it. I'm happy and I'm proud of myself. And it's not like I'm a millionaire from this little business that I started, but it brought me joy. And I knew I was helping people too. So for me, when you think of, I want abundance, and I manifest abundance, but not necessarily, abundance can come in so many different forms. And abundance to me is having that love and joy and peace and security of confidence and all the rest along, it's nice to make a good living. 100%. Of course, money does make you be able to live a little easier and enjoy things with your family more. But also knowing I am contributing to these people, they are getting something from me, and that makes me happy. That brings me joy. So starting that's how it started, and it's still going to this day. So I started the business in 2015, actually.
What is the business? What business?
So so a little more about that. So when I started the business called Find Your Fabulous, it's styling and image consulting. So say, Teodora, you say, okay, I want to hire somebody to find the perfect outfit for me to go to this wedding or to my class reunion or to whatever, a ball. Okay. And you're just not finding what you want, or you just don't want to mess with it from the beginning. I'm a career woman. I'm too busy to go shopping, whatever. Then I have a consultation with you and this is what you want. And this is, I go find it for you and I make sure you look amazing in it and you feel amazing too. Not just when you look in the mirror, but you say internally, and I give ideas for hair. I mean, I'm all about the clothes for the client, but I give ideas of, I would do my hair like this with this dress. I would wear this jewelry with this dress. I can also get that for you. These are the shoes that you need. I can get that for you. Or It could go where someone wants a wardrobe makeover. And what that means is you go to your closet every day and you're like, I have nothing to wear. And there's like 30,000 shirts.
You're talking about me again.
Yeah, I know. I got your number. And so they're looking and they're like, I have nothing to wear. And they're overwhelmed because maybe half the stuff doesn't work for them anymore, meaning maybe it's too big or it's too small or it's outdated and it used to be your style. But we've all grow as women and men. I've been clients. We grow in our personality and all that. And what you might have loved 2 years ago, and it may have even been a staple in your wardrobe, you come now and say, I don't know, I'm not feeling it anymore. Well, you know what? We evolve and our wardrobe should go along with us. So I come in, I take everything out. I have you trying stuff on. We keep this, we keep that. I find where this can go wherever you want. I have a list of like places you can donate or places you can get money for resale. But in the whole scheme of this is to get in control of your closet and your closet not be in control of you, and really even downsize things and fill in the gaps so you can bring pieces together to maximize what you already have. And then during these meetings, I call it therapy sessions because, you know, I'm not just sitting there looking at clothes and having to try stuff on. We're also talking about the way we feel and things.
Yes.
And the way we feel about ourselves and our confidence and self-assurance. And it opens the door to, and I genuinely care about people. So I might be able to give a little bit of advice that helps my clients feel good about the things that are still in their closet. And I show them how to put this stuff together and the staples they need to bring everything together. It's really fun. There's so many different avenues that the business has taken off with since then. A professor at Ohio University of Chillicothe called me. Hey, what do you ever think about doing a PowerPoint presentation for my students who are getting ready to go interview and they really don't know what to wear? That started a whole new thing. So I went to a lot of different universities doing and I would make the PowerPoint presentation based on what area I was going to, and what school I was going to, as to it fit. You know, I don't want it. One size doesn't fit all with anything.
Right.
You know, I wanted to go in there knowing my mark, knowing my crowd. So
you have such an amazing energy. You're what you do and who you are is just so powerful. Where's that all coming? Like how
you know,
I
have people ask me all the time.
I'm watching you glow, and I'm like,
it's highlighter.
Whatever you do, I want that.
Well, Teodora, you know, here's the thing. Here's what I know. What I know is I've always been like innately born, like I've always been super interested in people. I didn't care what color their skin was, what they had or what they didn't have. I like to hear and feel out who they were. Okay. So I don't really know where that comes from, but I'm super interested. And when I ask somebody a question, I'm not just trying to make small talk. I really genuinely, and I think part of it is I'm always constantly learning.
Right.
Let me give you an example. I was at the car wash about before the big snow started. And there was a lady working at the car wash. And she's always there. And every time I see her, she makes me smile because it's like she glows. And one day I said to her, I go, you make my day. Like, I love seeing your smiling face. And she goes, I think that about you. I see you in here. And I said, let me ask you a question. Do you love yourself? And she said, yes, I do. And I said, I can tell, because I feel like, and you know, we'll talk about my book in a minute, but part of what has happened is I started this little business. I started another business.
I found you.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I've got to write about this because it's not about the clothes. We love clothes. They're fun. You're wearing my favorite color, green, you know it. We love all the fun stuff and the, you know, the accessories and just it's in the hats and whatever. I love clothes, but it's not about the clothes. You can wear beautiful things and not shine. So what it is once you figure out how to love yourself with all of our flaws, things that maybe we think about in the past that we didn't do or we did do that we didn't, you know, you can't live there, right? So you got to learn how to love who you are, appreciate other people, and that brings joy. So how I find it is, listen, I am more comfortable with myself now and who I am than I've ever been. But I've always been genuinely, I find good in things. Okay. So
Yes.
I think if I were to answer the question honestly, we've all had problems, we've all made mistakes, but in scenarios of hardships or downtimes, or I've tried to find something good in it. And I think that continues to feed me, feed my heart, feed my soul. And that's where it comes from. Now, I will say, I wear myself out, Teodora. Like some days I'm like, and then I come home, I'm like, because it's like, well, because every waking hour, I'm trying to live this life. Like,
you know what I like to say?
Yeah.
I like to say, you know how people say happiness comes from within? I like to say beauty does the same.
100%.
I believe
you're right.
Beautiful because we feel beautiful, and because we are beautiful people with good intentions, beautiful intentions, all out there to help and like compliment. And no matter what, it's so important. I was in the grocery business before, right? And I go there all the time, and people are just so just not happy, right? So I go and I ask them to hug. And I hold a hug, and they're surprised. Why are you holding me? And I'm like, just hug.
You're gonna feel my love.
Just hug, and just let me hug you.
Yeah.
Like the no, not
no side hug. No, full in.
If it's
bear hug.
Yes. It's
well, you know what? I love that you say that, because I always say, if you meet someone and you might not physically think that they're like, it's not someone, I've said this before, that you would like stop on the street and kind of double take, like, woo, good looking. but you get to know them, and then you're like, she's gorgeous. And it's the inner beauty popping out, grabbing you around the neck, saying, here's your hug. I'm amazing because I love who I am, and I'm a joyful person. And so that makes people look better. It really does. And and people who smile, look, I don't have a very nice non-smiling face either. I can look, I don't know what it is. Like if it's so funny. You know how models will do those real serious photos where they're not smiling? I've had people ask me not to smile, and it doesn't even look like the same. It doesn't look right.
Feel right.
I don't look right that way. It makes me laugh. I'm like, well, that's a cute pouty face you have, and you look gorgeous. When I do it, it's not the same. It doesn't. But anyway, smiling does make you look better.
Yes.
And tricking yourself into feeling better. When you first start your day, we've all done this. You wake up and you think, oh my gosh, I'm tired. I don't know. And I got to do this today and whatever. And then say, no, I am so lucky. My feet are on the floor. I'm going to take a deep inhaling breath. I'm going to get this stuff done. I'm going to feel good about it. I'm going to smile while I do it, to trick myself into thinking that I'm happier than what I am. And, my mom always raised me too, where she was like, your bad day isn't anybody else's business or fault. So smile through it and bring joy into the world. Don't be a Debbie Downer, which is so funny that my name is Debbie and people use it with Debbie Downer, because I'm the farthest thing from
No.
But
Ian says no duck face for you, Debbie.
No duck face for Debbie. No, it's not a good look. It never has been. I
have to tell you, if I wake up and I don't get dressed for success, I call it dressed for success.
Yeah.
It's just a different
vibe. You're right, Teodora. You feel like you look sometimes. Yes. And if you have sweatpants on, or you're in your pajamas late, and isn't that so funny how funny isn't a good word to use, but during COVID, when everything was shut down and everyone was Zooming and wearing sweatpants or pajamas all day, how that affected them. And now they're realizing more than ever, science proves for years that if you take a little time for yourself and get yourself fixed up, and that doesn't mean you have to wear high heels and a dress. It just means maybe put a little time into yourself, where you've taken a minute. That scientifically, it is proved that we feel better. So there's something there, right? And then when COVID happened, everybody was like, wah, wah, wah. Well, yeah, we have to still get up and get moving with our day, even though we're not really going anywhere.
Right.
You know, it's
I
crazy.
have a question about that subject.
Sure.
It's talking about pajamas, you know, every time we go to the grocery store and you see somebody, you're just, why? I want to say why. Why do you think? And then we're gonna go into your book. I wanna show your book.
Why the pajama pants are
Why do people
in
find?
Walmart?
Yes. Why do some people find they're fabulous and are fabulous, and some people don't? Some people
Right.
just decide to go on Pajamas and Walmart.
Okay, so you know what? I have two thoughts about this. One thing is anyone that is brave enough to wear pajamas to the grocery store, I got to give props to. But on the other end of the spectrum, we got to remember that I feel, you know, sometimes people are just genuinely busy and they're like, I'm just going to do this, whatever. But you know what, Teodora, I feel like a lot of people just don't put energy or time into themselves because they don't think they're worthy, or they're like, I don't like the way I look right now. I'm gained weight, so I don't even care. But if I could give one message to anybody who feels like they don't look like they want to look right now, in whatever way that is, and it may be not just looks, it may be how you feel inside. Maybe you have a broken heart. Maybe you've lost your job, maybe whatever. You are worthy. You are, you know, you are worthy of feeling good. You are worthy of taking time for yourself to find joy and happiness. So whenever you start talking negatively to yourself, stop it, replace it with a positive comment, and believe it, because you are meant to be here and we all learn from one another, and you have gifts too. So if you feel like you're just not worth, now, if you're just saying, I don't care and I'm whatever, that's another thing. But if you really feel like you can't give yourself any attention, or you feel guilty about giving yourself any love, you got to knock that off.
I travel a lot. I go to Romania and it's like a 17-hour flight, you know, all the way there. And I always dress up. Many times I traveled to Romania in high heels and like business attire on an overnight flight, and people ask me why can't you just put pajamas and go grab your pillow and go in that airplane on 10-hour flight to Munich and just, you know, be comfortable. My response and my belief, this is my personal opinion,
sure,
it's about respecting myself.
Yeah,
it's about the respect that I give myself to look good, to feel good, and to be I don't have to be comfortable. It's comfortable to me to wear, you know, like good
and
clothes.
that's what people don't realize too. When you're used to dressing up, it doesn't feel uncomfortable.
Right.
It's when you're used to always wearing comfortable clothes that you wear something that may be a little more fitted, and people are like, I don't understand how you're comfortable, but it's like, well, this is kind of what I wear, so it's normal to me. You know, and I love that you do that for yourself, Teodora. So that works for you, and that's amazing. And that helps you continue to feel like you're giving yourself a little love and you're wearing what makes you feel good. And that's really the key. It doesn't mean that everyone has to wear what Debbie does or everyone has to wear what Teodora wears. It's find what looks good on your body. And if you're into comfort, go ahead and find the things that look good on your body that are comfortable, and then fix yourself up, and just, you're worth it. You know, you're just worth it. You know?
Is this is so the story behind your book? This is your book, Find Your Fabulous. You are absolutely fabulous. I loved reading your book. It is
you can find it on Amazon. And you know, it's an easy read. I did that on purpose.
It's so cool.
I have handwritten notes to people because that's my personality. I've always written notes to my kids. They'd find them in their book bags, under their pillow. I love that. And I want my reader to say, oh, Debbie wrote this little message to me, because I did. Just breathe. Just breathe.
Awesome.
Like, let's do it right now. Just breathe in and breathe out. It feels so good. But you know, it's a matter of writing something with a whole lot of intention behind it, but an easy read, so that it's not a huge investment of time, but hopefully the words on the page linger for a long, long time after you're done reading it. And you think, oh, I'm going to breathe. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go put my feet in the grass. I'm going to go, put my hands up, and I'm going to wake up and feel joyful because I am here and I can breathe, and I'm have something to offer, all of these things. So the premise behind this book was just figuring out what I've always known, but it's not about the clothes. There's fashion tips in there, fun stuff about fashion, but there's a lot of encouraging messages about finding your fabulous, which means finding self-love, finding out who you are, owning it, loving yourself. Then we can fully love others and accept love from others.
And receive it.
People.
Bring it on us.
And people that aren't happy with themselves, have you noticed this, Teodora? They don't, if you try to give them love or a hug, like you said at the grocery store, they don't want it. Well, first of all, I know you're like me, so you probably scare people with random hugs.
You can run away.
I don't know you, but I'm going to run up and hug you. They're probably like, ah. But, if someone doesn't feel like they deserve your love, then they're not going to take it. So if they start figuring out you deserve all the love in the world and you're worth that,
yes.
Love yourself so I can love you. Let me love you. But if you don't love yourself, you're not going to say, Debbie, oh, I accept your love, because they're not going to feel worth it. So it's a whole thing. It's like a whole, I could talk for ever.
I have a few questions here that I actually wrote down so I don't forget them. I want you to speak to beautiful single mothers.
Oh, yeah. Let me just tell you guys something. All you single moms out there. Wow. I don't know how you do it, and you are. And one of the big things I want to say, and I have 2 sisters who are single mothers. Okay. So this really speaks to me. You are one person. And you got to give yourself grace when you think, oh, I should have done this and I couldn't, give yourself grace, do the best you can. And the only thing you need to make sure your kids know is that they are loved. Always know that they are loved, because none of us are perfect. I had a lot of help from, having a husband, right? That I could stay home and be a constant support system for my 2 kids. And I still messed up. And there are things I look back at and say, oh my gosh, I could have done better on that. So don't be so hard on yourself. Do the best you can. Just always make sure that those kids know that they're loved. So once again, to reiterate it, how can you make sure that you're able to give all the love that you have to your kids? That's to take a little bit of time for yourself, give yourself love you, so you can give that and receive it from your children. That's so huge. I mean, I'm not even talking about clothes. Yeah, you may not have time to get all fixed up, and you're listening to Teodora and I talk, and you're like, oh, it must be nice to be able to get dressed up. You know what you can do? Yeah, you can. You can take 10 extra minutes before you go to bed to pick out something that you want to wear, get up 10 minutes earlier, and maybe, wash up your face real well, make sure your hair looks nice, and put that outfit on, and you go own the day. You deserve it. You deserve it.
Amen.
You. I mean, kudos to you.
So many single parents. It's hard to find it, but it's all about willing to do it.
Yeah.
You don't have a choice, right? There's no other option. You just have to go through it. You have to raise your children. You have to do life. But you do have a choice in how you feel, how you treat yourself, and how you look at yourself in the mirror. That is your choice.
That is a choice. And I love that you very beautifully worded, Teodora. That is beautifully worded. You do have a choice how you treat yourself. And, if you have extra, we always like to say we don't have time. We don't have time.
Oh, such an excuse that drives me nuts.
Yeah, every once in a while. So I did have a mom. She's not a single mom, but she has 3 children, and one is a special needs child. And doesn't your heart just go out, right, immediately, because you know how much, it's very difficult raising children. And then if they have developmental issues or whatever, that just amps it up, right? So she said she read my book, and she said one of the takeaways for her was, I just take 10 minutes and I've made a little spot in my bedroom, my oasis. I have my favorite mug. I put some tea in it. I light a candle, my scented candle. I went and splurged on a candle for me. And I have my books there, and I'll either pray or meditate, whatever, for 10 minutes. I'll make sure I know I'm a busy mom. I run businesses. I have these 3 kids, but 10 minutes, I can do this to get sanity and to give myself a little bit of self-love. And that really made me feel good that I got that feedback from her, because she's just saying, I'm doing it. I'm taking the 10 minutes. And then if you have 20, even better.
Yes.
Just if it's a matter of putting that into your routine, making it a routine to give yourself that time. I got up at 5 o'clock this morning to go work out. I didn't really want to. I didn't sleep well last night, but I thought I'm going to feel so much better when I do. And I always say, I always kick myself in the boot when I don't go, but I've never been mad at myself for going.
We're going,
So
right.
I always say, doing something for yourself is always going to be better than not. So
Yes.
take a little time for yourself, and whenever you can fit it in, fit it in.
It's very important to have, I call it my goddess space.
Yeah. Let me see.
To have your own space. Let you see. I will call you in private and show you my house and give you a tour.
You have your goddess space. Oh, I love that. Yeah.
I have my goddess space.
Yeah.
And I've heard Alina Grace and Ken Walls interview her, and she was talking about that.
Yeah.
And how important it is. And I thought, well, my goddess space, where should I build that? And then I realized, wait a minute, my house is my goddess space.
Yes.
This is my space. I live here alone with my daughter, and this is my goddess space, and I made it exactly how I wanted it, and it feels great.
And that's a good point too, Teodora, because we're talking about, like, my business is like what you put on your body, but it's also what you put yourself in your home. Like,
Yes.
If you can give it little facelifts, like painting, or, maybe a new set of curtains, or, something that you like fixes it up. It kind of gives
Flowers.
you that,
Magic. Flowers do
just
magic.
helps. It does. Our surroundings, what we put ourselves in, the people we surround ourselves with, all of that matters. It really matters.
Debbie, you're amazing.
You are too.
Oh, thank you. So I know I have friends that are watching or will be watching that want to start a business. They want to be successful. They want to be vibrant. They want to be victorious, and they don't know where, how, they might have a little why. They don't know how to start and where to start and how to do that.
I'm going to tell you.
Them?
Yeah. Here's what I think about that. With what I had gone through and knowing. So first of all, you have to ask yourself, I'm wanting to start a business. Why? Do I already have an idea of what I want to do? If you don't have an idea of what you want to do, follow yourself through your days and figure out what brings you joy. What are you attracted to? What do you like to do? And what are you naturally good at? So if you kind of already have something that you're good at and you also enjoy it, there's a business opportunity there. It's a journey to figure it out. And I kind of knew what I like to do and that I like to help people and I love fashion. But really, when I was so delving into being a mom and, like I said, being super focused on one thing, what I should have done was go ahead and be the best mother you can be, but also figure out what also makes Debbie tick. So, you can't just start a business if you don't have passion for something.
Right.
Because you'll start a business and it'll probably fail because you're not really that interested. It's just having a business to have a business. Pay attention to who you are, what you find joy in, what you are passionate about, and make it into your business. You won't fail because you're going to love what you do. That's my 2 cents.
They also say love what you do and you never work, a day in your life.
Yeah.
I also want to compliment that and say, if you love what you do, but you also love helping others and your business and what you start. When I started, in going into financial services, it was so interesting. And at such an interesting time, it was during full blast COVID.
Yeah.
And it was at a time where maybe that was not the right thing to do, but at the same time, I think it was brought to me because I believe and I live in helping other people all the time.
Mhm.
And what better way to help than with money? You know,
Right.
finances was just such
It
a
made sense to you.
it made sense, and it was such a needed
Yeah.
just something that people needed at the time. So deciding to go into that was really
That was a big
beneficial
step.
beneficial for everybody,
That was
right?
a big step for you.
It was huge. I didn't I can to this day I can't comprehend how did I go from, like working in the grocery business, going into the financial services, but that's when I still work on recognizing who I am and
Mhm.
what my strength is,
Mhm.
and getting my licenses. I mean, you have to get
The
licenses in
whole
order to
thing.
work with people's money. And
Yeah.
the one attribute that I really am proud of is not being afraid. I'm not afraid of doing anything and anything that I can to help other people.
That's
And
cool.
fear is
That's
not
cool.
not
I like
something.
that. Yeah, fear, they say fear not, fear nothing but fear itself. And, I've done my share of fearing things. I'm kind of over that now. I feel like that's old Debbie. I need to step out of that box and go for it. So I that's attractive to me, people who are willing to go for it and just not look back.
And
So
do it.
that's another great advice for your friends.
Yes.
Once you decide what that's going to be, boom, go for it. I
Shoot.
love
Shoot at it. Okay, if you were to go back in that airplane seat,
that. That was a wonderful trip.
what
Uh, yeah, if I were to go back and to when I decided I was going to start this business,
yes.
you're asking me if I
Is
would have
there
done.
is there an advice you would give yourself, that
Yes.
something that you would
Yeah. Yeah, I would. I would have told the Debbie then, I would have said, don't think so small. Go big. Go. Don't just say, oh, I'm starting a little local styling and image consulting business. I would have said, no, sky's the limit. I'm going for it. I would have gone to more people. I would have gone to people to ask for help, meaning I'm a new business owner. Okay. I want to do this, this, and this. We're in different industries, but what? And how should I promote it and whatever? No, I've always been the type of person where I I got this. I'll do it on my own. I'm not going to ask for help. And that's silly. People want to encourage you and help you. And people want to share what they have learned along the way. So we're not recreating the wheel, right? So we're not going from down here. We're
Yes.
starting up here because
Yeah.
we're getting help. I didn't ask for help. I did everything on my own, flew by the seat of my pants, and I would go and tell Debbie, listen, there are people out there who want to help you. Go do it. So, now I've stepped out of my comfort zone. I've written this book. I started the S Corp doing marketing consulting and things like that. Hi, Sandy. And and I'm not saying that I'm fearless now, but I'm a lot less fearful than I
Yes.
ever have been. And I am getting involved with people like you and Ken and Lynn and all of these people in Grow Live Academy who are cheering for each other.
Yes.
And I'm learning from everybody. I should have been doing this years ago. And I just didn't. I didn't take an interest in it. I thought I had it. I can do it on my own. And we're not meant to work that way as human beings. We're meant to team up, teamwork makes the dream work, all that stuff. It's true. So I would have definitely reached out to people.
Right. I know.
Yeah. Yeah. We got this.
I know, we got this. We're strong.
I know.
We wanna take, just earlier
Yeah.
that we talked to, we want to take the credit. We want to be.
Yeah. And you don't want to feel like you're putting anybody out. That was always my thing. Like, I got it. I don't want to have to, I don't want anybody to feel like I'm, so. And then like I told you, my friend told me, I want to help you. Why don't you do you get upset with me when I ask you to help me with something? I'm like, no, I love to help you with stuff. Well, then why don't you ask me? Sean Benson, I don't know if she's watching or not, but she would always say that. She's like, I can do stuff. Like, just ask me. I'm like, okay.
I don't think it's a pride thing. I keep trying to think about that. It's, to me, it was the proving,
Yeah.
growing up in Romania and always being like, oh, you're little, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
We're all protecting you. I grew up having to prove that I can. And I'm like, mother,
Yeah.
I can do this.
Yeah. So there you go. It's from that childhood experiences that you've brought along with you.
Yeah.
And I feel like my mom never asked for help. So I used to watch her handle everything and never ask for help. And I thought, I can do that.
Yeah.
And we maybe can, but we can't do it as well as maybe we could if we just, delegated things and let people help or ask for help. And, gives us a little bit more time too for ourselves and all the rest. So I'm getting over that too. Asking for help.
We're growing.
We're on our way, Teodora.
We're on our way. We should have started, the show and Grow Live a year ago.
Right.
2 years ago.
And here, I haven't even started mine yet, but I'm on with Lynn. Yes. So that's fun. I'll be on tomorrow, but that's fun. And I'm learning and I'm growing. I really am. I'm growing as a person. And I'm just thinking, gosh, the last half of my life, I'm going to live it up. I'm going to do it all. Right. I am. I'm just ready for it.
I think things happen at the right time for when we're ready, because, so you heard what that lady told you in the airplane. Mm-hmm. Just go for it. You heard that so many times before, right? Yes. Everybody told you, just do it. But you have to be prepared for it, ready to receive, right. And then just be in the right state of mind, in the right,
You're right.
Yes.
And it was funny too, because I felt like it was like the universe was involved too, because I'm on this plane with a stranger and I knew how I'd been feeling, and it was everything like in the right time, like her saying what she did to me. And I'm like, it was just meant to be. And I feel that way about everyone we meet in life. We can learn from everyone that we meet. And I feel like everyone's put in our life for a purpose. We just have to look at it that way, good or bad. Yes. If you have a really terrible experience with someone, you're probably learning a lesson. So,
we might not always be prepared to learn the lesson at the time that the lesson is right. given to us, and we're going to learn it later. I was in a relationship for 5 years, and it took me 5 years to learn the lesson. Yeah. And I've learned it eventually, but it was 5 years.
Right. I know. I'm a slow learner with relationships too. There's so much love and compassion. I feel like that's kind of how you are too. So it's a matter of when when your heart's invested in something, it is on a different level than learning other lessons. Let's just say that.
My lesson in that was learning to be stronger and not to give more than I should.
Yeah.
Because I keep giving, waiting, and giving for something that was never going to be returned. Mm-hmm. And my lesson was like, okay, Teodora, you have to put yourself first. I never put myself first.
It's good that you learned that lesson. And what kept ringing in my head as you were speaking about that is there has to be equal giving and receiving. And when you're the one giving all the time, it just wears a person out. And so equal giving and receiving, and you weren't getting anything in return. And that's deflating and sad. So I good for you that you decided you come first, and I can learn from you that you did that,
And I was able to take that into business now. Good. How much in the business you give, yeah. And how much effort you put into somebody. If you're a leader, let's say, you have a team of people that you work with, how much time and effort you invest in somebody until they're coming back and say, okay, I need this. You keep giving and giving yeah. to a point where, well, hello.
Yeah. And then as a leader, like you said, there comes a point where you have to be able to say to someone, enough is enough. and this is how we're going to do it. It's just the way it is. And it's a lesson. I think I feel like I don't want to make this a gender thing, but I really do feel like it's more difficult for women to the line to be drawn. I don't know why really, but I feel like there's a common theme with that.
Is it that our mother,
the heart's involved and you don't want to, you want,
we're so emotional.
Probably. Yeah. More sensitive and emotional.
We are. Yes, we are. Well, Debbie, I can't thank you enough for coming to chat with me.
Oh, I had a fun time.
Your book was amazing. So I put the link to the Amazon in the comments.
Okay.
I think, and I'm also going to post it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
So that, because I think finding your fabulous, finding our fabulous, it's really important. Like you have to find you in order to move forward and help other, especially your family.
Yeah.
Right?
You're so right.
In the family, it starts, the family is the center of the universe, in my opinion. And that's where everything is happening and growing and developing and starting. So being fabulous is the key to success, no matter what. In what area are we talking about? We're talking about love. We're talking about money. We're relationships. Finding your fabulous, and this is the book.
There you go. And it is the relationship that we find with ourselves that then make us a better person for other people and ourselves. So I definitely know that I've read different books and I listen to different people speak that resonate with me, that are on the same lines of what my book is. And it's different perspectives on the same thing. And I just thought, I'm going to make a quick book that is like a handbook for feeling fabulous. And it all is inside. I have a list of different things of what I do for myself to help myself love myself every day. Some days we have to check ourselves on the carpet and say, I'm not loving myself today. I need to get back on track. We're not perfect. We're going to do that. We're going to falter, but we can. It's a mindset. So that's what I leave you with is it's a mindset. Love yourself. Check yourself on the carpet. Tell yourself no negative self-talk. So
I love it.
And highlighter.
I love you.
And a little highlighter to make you glow. Do you see my face glowing? It's a little highlighter.
You're glowing because your energy is glowing, because you're a glowing person, because
thank you. You are
phenomenal and fabulous and amazing. And I just love you with all my heart.
I love you too. I'm so
amazing.
thankful you had me on. Makes my heart warm. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Can you believe we've been talking for 50 minutes? That went fast.
Yes, it's amazing. It's amazing. We're so much alike, man. And when you told me, I heard you say your favorite store, clothing store, and I was like, oh, that's my favorite store.
Of course, when you can buy name brand stuff for less, that's just smart, in my opinion. Why would you not start there? TJ Maxx is my friend.
It's the place to go. If I need a pick me up, I go to TJ Maxx.
Oh yeah, a little retail therapy.
Yes, retail therapy works for me. It's fun and it's lifting and it's rewarding. It's rewarding.
There you go. There you go. Little fun stuff for us every once in a while. Give ourselves a little perk. Not gonna hurt anybody.
I think today is the day because it's snowing outside and I need to pick me up. So
yeah, you go. Yeah, there you go. Go get a little pick me up.
Yes. I'm gonna think about my closet and what you said. I'm gonna go open the doors and look in it and see what I need to add more color. I feel like my closet is not colorful enough.
You know what's funny? I do a lot of neutrals too. So I bring in pieces like pashminas, scarves, different colored jewelry, maybe a pop of color with my shoes, a new handbag to give me that color fix. Yes. Because, when you buy up, maybe clothes that are a little bit more expensive, you kind of want it to be something you're going to have in your closet for a long time. So I like to have those more neutral so I can put the trendier pieces with it to make it look different for maybe a season. And then you don't feel so bad if it's just like an inexpensive little extra something like a scarf or whatever to give it more color. But I love what you have on today. I think it's so sweet you wore green because it's my favorite color. That was, I of course I noticed that right off the bat. I'm like, oh, it's so nice. I love it.
Yes. Debbie, so let's say if you have would you take a client in Denver?
In Denver, of course. We would just do it all virtual. I
Okay.
could 100% do virtual.
Oh my gosh. I know people that need you.
Yeah, you give them my number. I do it. I actually do it. My daughter is in Columbus. I do it with her all the time. But I was in Hawaii and a client of mine called and said her husband was going to be on the news and she said he needs a new, and I just found it and, sent it to her via email. So he purchased it and had what he needed. So yeah, I mean, it's so doable. I mean, we're so like, you're on the other end of the country and
yes,
we've met and here we are, we're having an interview together. So it's so easy. Of course.
Okay.
So the distance is no problem.
I will give your number. I have somebody in mind and I've been trying, but I didn't succeed.
Okay. Okay. I got you.
So yes, I will connect you with her.
Okay, perfect. That sounds amazing.
Okay, Debbie,
right.
I'm gonna continue to be grateful for your time, and I'm gonna wish our audience a great day, and I'm going to let them go buy your book so they can find their fabulous.
Yes.
And I'm going to be right back with you. Just don't leave.
Stay okay, I'll stay here. Bye, everybody.
In the back for a minute. It was so amazing to have you and chat with you live and bring you to. I know that we learned so much from you because you're amazing. You're just amazing. Like that.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm grateful as well. Thank you so much.
You're amazing. Stay with me, okay? Beautiful people. I hope you have a great day. Debbie is so inspiring and so amazing. I want to suggest going back and listening to this because there were things there that were said that you're gonna want to listen again, and they will just click when they need to click. Maybe right now during our lives you didn't hear them, but if you go back and listen, they will click and they will help you. And I hope everybody has a great day. If you're in Denver, let's go shop at TJ Maxx. It looks like it's one of those days that we just need to do that. I love you. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.